I just challenge people to embrace it, man, because let's try and just make some positivity out of this thing. But I just got to keep it real with the people.
Man, you said a whole lot that people should really think about.
Consider.
Yeah, and consider, because I mean, you speak straight facts, man, and like I said, I agree with 100% of what you're saying. And like I said, I go back, man. It feels good to be behind this mic, to be able to just talk about this, and it's like you new. This is our new norm now, man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's making people to really reflect and think, and like I said, it also too is going to show you a lot about people as well too.
Who knows, BT? This might be a situation, and I could be totally wrong, to where if this thing don't open up sooner than later, then we could be talking about there maybe not even being an election, maybe, which is going to force who's in place to stick and stay in that position. And I don't know if that's how it works. And I could be totally wrong.
And that's true, because like I said, with voting precincts and everything, they don't want. I know when you think about the NBA, they don't want, or just the CDC, and I think a lot of more health organizations that's trying to help fight this and to slow the spread, don't want no more than 10 people. So you think about at a vote precinct, sometimes there's lines wrapped around the building trying to vote. So if they don't want more than 10 people in one place, and the recommended distance is 6 feet from each other, that's not going to happen at a voting precinct. You're going to be much closer. And these are people coming off the street, so.
Yeah, look at the unemployment line.
Exactly.
The unemployment line about to be through the roof. We're talking anywhere between 20 to 40 million people, up to maybe potentially 60% of people that's going to be unemployed. Mm-hmm. And where it's about to really get real at is that one thing you got to consider, folks been nasty for a long time, BT. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's hard to change habits. If you've been nasty for a long time, it's not going to change. You're going to continue to be nasty.
Exactly. And that's my point. Folks have been not washing their hands. Mm-hmm. Some folks were walking around every day with something worse than the coronavirus. Mm-hmm. And we don't know who got it. I ain't been tested for it. I ain't got it. Mm-hmm. Such and such up the road, Susie, Joe, whoever. If you ain't been tested, you really don't know. But that is where I think that God is trying to get our attention, to focus on Him. Let us know that He's still in control regardless. And the crazy part about it, too, is that, the coronavirus is about to be secondary in a minute. What's it been, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Folks, it's 2-3 weeks in the hole. The first is coming up. Before you know it, folks, going to be a month, 2 months in the hole trying to climb out. I'm afraid for some people because everybody doesn't have the mental toughness of what it takes to come up out of a position like that. And they're going to have bigger problems on their hands than the coronavirus because of the simple fact that folks going to be running in folks' houses.
Hey,
folks is going to be getting real paranoid and stressed and concerned and everything else. I tell you one thing, BT, I know something when I start seeing people running out of ABC warehouse with flat screen TV.
Man, it's been some crazy stuff, man, and we're gonna talk. Well, I know we running out of time for this segment, but we're gonna talk about some of the craziest things you've seen people starting to do on just social media, and the people that you mentioned earlier about people that we've known, especially in the sports world, and it can be outside of the sports world, has said they tested positive for coronavirus. So I definitely want to talk to you about that, because I'm seeing here right on the ESPN page, Doris Burke said she was tested positive. We're going to talk about some more people that said they've tested positive. And also, too, I want to talk to you more about the two NBA players I think that started this that didn't take it serious, and that's being Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz. But I've said they have been cleared of the coronavirus. So that's something that I know you got something to say about, because I know we were talking earlier, you were like, they're going to probably want to give people some vaccines or whatever. And, it takes time for this stuff to be tested. So, are you the type of person that want to take this vaccine and haven't been rigorously tested? So I definitely want to talk about that. And just, man, every time you get on social media, people are bored out their mind. So they doing all the dances on TikTok. They doing all this stuff. And then you even go on Facebook Market. You go anywhere. You see in pictures on Instagram, people are selling toilet tissue. $50 a roll or more, hand sanitizer. Like, man, it's crazy. So I definitely want to talk about people that has come out and said they tested positive for the coronavirus, as well as some of the craziest things you've seen on social media during this time when people are locked up at home, bored out of their mind. There's not enough Netflix shows, not enough Hulu shows that you can watch to try to, ease some of that boredom, man, to just give you something to do.
That's when you brush off the dust, blow the dust off of that word, because all of it, it's all in there.
And I want to talk to you too about that. We're gonna talk next about a lot of people I see been sharing this Nostradamus, where he predicted this. They want to see if you got any take on that. Nostradamus, I think I've seen he was a French philosopher that predicted what people may be saying, this coronavirus that we are now witnessing right now, that he supposedly prophesized years ago. So I definitely want to get into that, man. Just a lot of stuff we can talk about, man.
Godstradamus. Godstradamus.
And we still got to talk about, man, what the NBA, are they just afraid to say that the NBA is going to be canceled? So they just saying postpone. And just, it has to be something to this virus for you to cancel. I mean, not postpone, but cancel March Madness in the NCAA tournament.
That's that president telling you that he don't care about your basketball.
Man, that may be it.
And the even more so interesting part of it is gonna come when America's sport has a effect of it being football. That'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're going to get this when it comes to football. They're gonna get this virus under control before football season comes. Now, that I believe is going to happen, because I already know how they feel about basketball, especially in the South. They want to cancel basketball. I think did they cancel baseball yet? But I think they trying to make some revision with baseball.
Postpone.
They postponing. Okay.
Not cancel.
Yeah, just postpone. Okay. Because I know I was
note.
hearing about because it's supposed to be opening day or spring opening for baseball. I don't keep up with baseball like that, but I just happened to see something talking about, it has affected opening day for spring opening or for baseball. So, man, but yeah, they're gonna try their best to get this thing on the routes before the NFL season starts. Not saying that I don't want them to, because I do want this thing to find out what's really going on with this virus and how they trying to, and find out after the fact how did they treat it, how did they stop it. That'd be something interesting to read up on. But yeah, I'm like you. I don't think the world too much care about basketball like that, especially in the South. But they're gonna definitely do their best to not let it ruin the football season. because I'm sure you got advocates out there. Oh, if football season is canceled and we ain't got no football to watch, it's gonna definitely get bad. So,
are you talking about having big problems?
Mm-hmm. So, I'm sure there's a lot of people that's out there pushing that agenda. That's probably hard. That's already saying it if they hadn't said it already. But that's gonna be interesting too, because before you know it, football will be here. And like I said, we got to, like I said, we winding down on this segment, so I don't want to dive into it too deep. But definitely, man, we got to talk about, like I said, people that you've seen on social media that in the sports world that has publicly acknowledged that they tested positive. The NBA, your thoughts on the NBA being postponed, and LeBron's comments about when it does resume, and if it does, not jumping straight to the playoffs, but finishing the regular season. And March Madness, the NCAA tournament being just canceled. I think I read an article with the Sports Business Journal. Man, that's like a, I don't want to say it, but it's like close to billions of dollars that they're losing.
It is.
And
it is.
That's crazy, man. So that makes me say it's something that they're not saying, or something that was mismanaged, man. Because if you standing to lose that much money, something about this just don't sit right with me. Like, this thing is much more serious than what they're trying to not make it out to be, even though they still trying to make it seem serious, or as they wouldn't have told people to stay home. Schools are closing. Not closing, but schools are shutting down temporarily because they don't want students to be infected. It just, what's going on, man. And I know it's not a lot for a lot of households. The government talking about sending checks out to families, during this time. Like, because as you mentioned earlier, man, it'll get with people losing their jobs during this time over something that wasn't their control, and the government actually drug their feet on trying to get this thing under control when they saw this was happening in China. Oh, but it's not going to come here, and now it's here, and now people are losing their jobs, and now you're not trying to do nothing to help them. Like you said, people start kicking in people's doors, man. Start robbing. And, what brings to mind to me is The Walking Dead, man. I done start back watching The Walking Dead, and that's how they doing in there, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's so many things that people have in mind in regards to idea, whether it's zombie apocalypse, aliens, Jesus coming back, dinosaurs, you name it. You see so much and you hear so much all over social media right now. But yeah, we can definitely dip into that on the next one, man. Looking forward to it.
Oh, yo. Yeah, because, a lot of this stuff, it's definitely worth talking about, man. And this is a new world for us, man. And we don't, quite frankly, know whether or not this is gonna be the norm and for how long. And I think that has a lot of people scared, man. Because I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm down, man. Because I was looking forward to spring AAU basketball. Now that's being postponed, and man,
it's definitely about to separate the boys from the men.
That's right. Hey, it's the Hoops Outsiders podcast. We coming right back at you. We got a lot of more talk as far as this coronavirus, COVID-19, and just talking about things we've seen on the net in regards to this virus when people don't have nothing to do. Stick around. It's Hoops Outsiders Podcast.